Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm the City Witch. So for March, we're going to be doing a love reading, concentrating on those of you out there who are single, hoping to meet that special someone, and those of you who are in committed relationships. So we're going to be housing two different messages from each of the sets of cards. So you're probably thinking, why on earth is she doing love in March? Well, the reason for that is because I don't particularly enjoy doing love readings in the month of February. Those who are single are concentrating on finding someone, they don't want to be alone, and it becomes way more of an issue for them when they see couples around them getting all lovey-dovey and happy, and they're seeing all the Valentine's stuff, and it brings up a lot of different emotions for people. And then those within relationships are quite oblivious to how other people around them feel, and it's just a whole mess of emotions, guys. So I would much rather conduct this in March for you and offer you insight into a relationship that's maybe just beginning, if you're single and likely to meet anybody, or what you need to be doing to improve your situation, and those of you in committed relationships that perhaps need a bit of guidance on what's going to happen in the month of March. So that's why I've chosen to do this in March instead of February. If you are new to my channel, hi and welcome, and you've obviously never had one of these readings before, I do these on a monthly basis and they come out the first of every month, so keep an eye out for the next few months worth so you'll get a free reading. All you need to do is select one of the group of cards in front of me. So we have group 1, group 2 and group 3. So all you'll need to do is use your instinct and intuition to select a group, and then when you've selected it, listen out for your insightful reading. So go ahead and pause the video now and select your group. So now you've selected your group, we're going to begin. So we're going to begin with group 1 as always and see what the cards hold for you guys. Okay, so we have here, make the effort, express your love, the 9 of Pentacles and Strength. And this is an interesting combination of cards. So for make an effort and express your love, this is talking very heavily to the fact that you guys need to put in more effort and focus upon what you're doing. So let's start with those of you out there that are single. So this implies you're not making enough effort to attract a partner. So have you fallen into that lazy routine of not bothering to dress nice, not bothering to put makeup on or do your hair or shave on a regular basis, barely bothering with perfume or body spray, don't leave the house anymore, perhaps you work from home now, so you're thinking, I don't need to go through all that routine anymore, it's fine, and you've become a bit recluse. Now for many this has become a big issue because during COVID and lockdown we've all gotten used to being at home. A lot of other external issues have arisen, such as anxiety and social disorders, because you don't want to go out and be in public, you're worried, fearful. All that anxiety has caused you to become a recluse, stay at home and hermitize yourself, which is reducing your opportunity to get out there and make an effort and potentially meet a partner. So here what I'm seeing is that you guys are feeling a little bit lost. You've sunk into this maybe toxic kind of routine where you're not bothering to put an effort in anymore, you're not dressing up nice, you're barely going out anywhere, and when you are, you're not maybe living up to your full potential, not like you used to. Now, for some of you out there, this has been a blissful awakening because every day you were putting on makeup, putting on a suit or a nice outfit and going to work and putting your best foot forward. So it's maybe a nice welcome change that you don't have to do that every day. I can tell you for sure, I've saved a lot of money by not putting makeup on every single day. So there are advantages to what's happened, but there are also disadvantages, like feeling lost and alone, less opportunity to meet people, not mixing with people anymore. So you are choosing more and more not to go out and socialize. Your social life is kind of going a little bit down the toilet. You're not communicating with people properly, and when you are, it's usually through technology. These blockages are what are causing you to not meet anybody, not get yourself out there, and of course further making that worse is the fact that you're not putting in any effort to make yourself feel special and loved. And you don't have to put makeup on or a fancy suit or anything for somebody else. You should be doing it for yourself anyway, and these things make us feel good. These things make us feel special. You can look in the mirror and go, damn, I scrub up well. So I do kind of feel like the cards are indicating that you've sunk a little bit over the last couple of years into this maybe toxic kind of pattern that's impacting your mentality, how you view yourself, and you've become maybe your own worst enemy a little bit, and perhaps you're also your toughest critic, and you are picking on yourself because you're not happy with yourself anymore. And a lot of that is just because of this routine that you've sunk into, which is easily broken and transformed. So this is why you're getting the message to make an effort. So this means put your best foot forward, make sure you dress nicely every day. Ladies, slap on a bit of makeup, or your best favourite perfume. Lads, get some aftershave on there, cleanly shaven, get that hair gelled, whatever it takes that makes you feel handsome or beautiful is what you need to be doing. It also talks about pampering yourself as well and making sure that you feel good about yourself. Now, this is done in a number of different ways, and you need to remember it's different for everybody. So for ladies, maybe it's you go for a spa day. Men, maybe it's you go and you have a nice massage, or you go to a steam room, or you have a nice swim. You know, whatever it is that makes you feel good about yourself is what you need to be doing. And maybe you've lost touch with that a little bit, or you're forgetting because your routine just prevents it. It's not something that fits into your routine anymore. Or through busy life, sometimes we just forget to carve out a little bit of time for ourselves to pamper and enjoy ourselves. So it's now time to address those issues and start working on them, okay? And then the cards further start to talk about this is going to create a much more stable, happy routine for you, where you're remembering to take care of yourself. If you remember to also go out and get a little bit social, it's going to give you an opportunity to meet somebody. This card comes with the happy home environment and imminent transformation and a completion of a project. So it implies to me that there are opportunities around the corner for you that are, you know, imminently going to enter your life to make a love interest, to meet somebody. So that is on the horizon for you guys, but in order to do that, you need to get yourself out there. And what I'm sensing from group one is that you're not getting yourselves out there. You've become very recluse and perhaps a little bit afraid to get out there. So you're being encouraged by your guides. Now's the time. Start breaking that toxic routine, pushing yourself just that little bit out of your comfort zone, and start getting yourself into a much more healthier routine where you've got an opportunity for someone to meet you, appreciate you, and adore you because you deserve it. And then lastly, they're saying it's going to take a great amount of willpower to do this, because the strength card is about the way we feel inside. It's not about physical strength. It's usually about strength of character, and it's usually talking about our strengths and weaknesses as an individual. So I do kind of feel with this card that it's saying this is going to be tough. This is going to be challenging for you guys, especially those of you who've developed social anxieties, not so willing to go out anymore in public, that you're a bit fearful of the world, and it's created maybe some kind of trauma. So it is going to be challenging, but it's going to be worth it if you can work on this and break out of that cycle, okay? Now, for those of you in a relationship, this is talking about you letting that relationship go on the wayside and not nurturing and taking care of it like you should. So if you are in a relationship or you've just entered a relationship, perhaps it's all a bit too easy and you've kind of thought, I don't have to make as much effort. You're wrong. This is showing me that you haven't put in enough effort. Your partner's picked up on it. There is some kind of resentment going on here in the relationship, and maybe one or both of you is feeling very much taken for granted, and that is serious, guys. If you're taking your partner for granted, or you're the one being taken for granted, that's awful. No one should be treating you that way or making you feel that way. And while we all have an emotional reaction to the way we are treated, and we ourselves control our emotions, it doesn't make them any less valid. So if what's triggering you is that you're in a relationship and you're not being appreciated, you are being taken for granted, you don't feel special or appreciated anymore, and your partner's not putting any effort in, then the relationship is going down a dark route. So you need to correct that. Course correcting is very, very easy when you recognize these things. So maybe it's time to kind of sit your partner down and open those channels of communication and express yourself. But this doesn't just mean talking about all the bad stuff. You know, when we focus on the bad, all we do is breed more and more negativity. So no, the cards are advising here that instead you need to express your love. You need to show your partner that they are appreciated, that you adore them for who they are, and that you love all the good, positive qualities that in the first place made you attracted to them, that brought you together and helped you fall in love with them, or at least build that emotional bond if it's a new relationship. So whatever it is about them that you find attractive, sexy, that's what you need to focus on. So you need to do this communication and building back that bond of love through love. So this means focusing on the good. So you need to wine and dine your partner. You need to make a little bit of an effort. And in doing so, by showing your partner you're making an effort, you're trying, they are going to reciprocate and do exactly the same thing. You can transform this situation by using positive energy. You do not have to come at this negatively. And if you do, I do think you're going to end up with an unstable, unhappy home environment. So if you heed the advice of the cards, for those of you in a relationship, and you focus on the positive and you start going, you know what, I'm going to appreciate my partner, I'm going to buy him a bunch of flowers just because, I'm going to buy chocolates just because, I'm going to take them out to a meal because you know what, they deserve it, they work damn hard, I'm going to treat them to their favourite movie, or I'm going to go and take them to get their hair done, their nails done, or you know, from if you're a woman and you want to spoil your man, maybe you go and buy him a computer game that he's always wanted and you sit with him while he plays it and get involved. Maybe you treat him to a night out in a bar and, you know, spoil him a little bit. Maybe you buy him a really nice cigar or something. Whatever it is that he likes, concentrate on that. And the same goes for you men out there. Make sure you're concentrating on your partners in a positive manner. Think about what makes them happy. What do they like? Do something that makes them happy, that will bring you no joy except the joy that you're seeing them happy. And that's what the cards are talking about here. And again, this is going to be about swallowing your pride a little bit. For some of you out there, you might be a bit prideful, thinking, I don't want to do that. I put enough effort in and I am underappreciated. Why should I put even more effort in to fix this? Well, if you are thinking that way and if you're going down that route of thought, maybe you need to ask yourself, is the relationship worth it? And if this is something you want to save, then you will do just about anything to save it, won't you? And in that regard, doing something to make your partner feel special, I don't think is that much of a stretch. I think you're very capable of it, and I think you guys need to maybe swallow your pride and think about what's most important to you, because this isn't about the short game, the little battles, the little tiffs and arguments. This is about the long-term commitment and where you see your future in this relationship. So if you want to save this relationship, if you want to give it back that spark, and you want your partner to appreciate you, you in turn need to appreciate them as well, because nobody does this on their own. You're a partnership, you're supposed to be a team. Let's remember that, guys. So unfortunately for you guys in group 1 for March, there is going to be a little bit of a learning curve. It's going to be a little bit difficult. There is going to be a few stresses on your relationship, or if you're single, it is going to be a bit challenging for you. However, I've no doubt you can get through it because you are strong, you are powerful, and you have more power than you know, and you are very, very capable, okay? So let's move on to group 2 and see what is going on for you guys. Okay. So group 2, so we have pay attention to the red flags, past life relationship, the 2 of swords and the devil. Oh my. So you guys, let's start with the singles. So for you single guys out there, what I'm kind of seeing for you is that you are repeating toxic old patterns. You haven't really learned from life lessons and past relationship issues. And because you're repeating the same things, the same kind of red flags are happening, the same toxic cycles are reoccurring, you really haven't learned, and it's causing you to go through this same lesson over and over, and it's going to keep happening until you get the lesson, unfortunately. That's kind of what happens in life. As a soul, we are put here as a rough rock and we are chipped away at until we become a beautiful shiny diamond. And life is tough, guys, which is why we take a few knocks along the way that removes that dirt, that rock, and shows the beautiful sparkly diamond within. So I definitely feel for you single guys out there, what I'm seeing here is that there are a lot of past traumas shown by the past life relationship, and that past life relationship that soul connection has been coming up time and time again. So, you know, going a bit deeper here, I think you've been going back to the same person, or you've been dating the same type of person over and over, and it's just not been working. Why? Because they're the same type of person, or they are the exact same person. They have all the same issues. They've not learned, they've not grown, they've not changed. And by going backwards, you cannot go forwards. So you need to recognize that cycle a little bit, and it's time to break that cycle and move on into something more positive. And then you need to pay attention to the red flags. You know, what about that person, that relationship, or that past situation made you unhappy? Make a list. Think about the things that went horribly, horribly wrong. What did they do? How did they treat you? What emotional reactions did you have? Really analyze what was going on. And when you can break it down to singular words, like they were obnoxious or childish, when you're breaking it down to those types of words, you can really kind of go, well, what do I want instead? So you don't want someone childish, you want someone who's mature or stable, secure. You know, maybe you then forge a list of positives that you can concentrate on, and you can say to yourself, this is what I want in a partner, this is what I'm going to look for in a partner. And if I'm seeing any of these red flag traits that trigger me, upset me, I'm gonna get out of there as quick as I can, because they are not the person for me. And you can recognize these things by going back through all your past relationships, or, you know, whatever relationship you recently came out of. You need to really look at the red flags and decide for yourself what was triggering for you, how did it break down, and what about it was toxic that made it not work. Because your next relationship, you want it to be successful. And as you are repeating these patterns which are causing you to go through the same process and making the same mistakes over and over, you want to be able to break that in order to go forward into a better relationship. So learn from your past mistakes is kind of what's coming up here for you guys. And then to further give you information, we have the Two of Swords and the Devil. So this definitely talks about, you know, headache situation, something that you've been super hyper focused on. And by hyper focusing on it, usually we do this in a negative way, or we concentrate on one positive, which is the reason that we want our ex back, or it's the reason that we want to concentrate on a past relationship so much, because there was one thing about that person that we really, really, truly enjoyed. You know, it could be that they were absolutely fabulous in bed. It could be that they made us feel special in some small way when no one else has ever done that. And then when we hyperfixate on that one good thing, it blinds us to all the negatives. So that's what the cards are talking about for you guys that are currently single, saying you're a little bit blinded, you're repeating past horrible toxic cycles, which of course are blocking you from getting into a positive relationship. So you need to recognize those patterns and cycles and learn to break away from them and look for something different. In doing so, you're going to be a lot happier. Now, there will be things about your past relationships that you learned or recognized about yourself that you do enjoy. Perhaps there's certain traits or physical characteristics of those partners that you think, yeah, I like that. So maybe they're tall, dark, and handsome. Maybe they're, you know, a brunette with sparkly blue eyes. So you know you like a blue-eyed brunette, you know, or a tall, dark, handsome man. You know, whatever it is that draws you to a past person, think about that and think about, well, okay, you can still have those things, but you don't want all the other toxic things at the same time. So recognize the red flags and the patterns, recognize what's going on, and see clearly for the first time how you are blocking a positive, happy relationship from coming into your life, guys. And with the Devil, obviously this is showing me control issues, obsessive behavior. It's showing me a breakdown of your desires and giving in to lust and temptation, and not actually really using your brain and analyzing what's been going on. So for you guys that are single in group 2, you need to learn to break away from toxic relationships. And the reason you're single is because you are not learning life lessons here, repeating the same cycles, and not able to learn enough to move into a more happier relationship. So I'm sorry that's a bit of a negative message there, but I think it's necessary to say these things and be honest with you guys so that you can look at this, look at yourselves clearly and recognize what you're doing wrong in order to grow as an individual. And I'd rather tell you the truth and have you grow and learn so that you can meet that special someone and be in a happy relationship. So for those of you who are in a relationship, I'm sorry, but again, this message is a little bit on the negative side. It's kind of telling you that there are a lot of red flags in your relationship that need addressing. You need to look out for the signs, and the signs are warnings. They're telling you that there's something wrong in this relationship. There is something going on, and maybe again, you're a little bit blinded to it because all you're seeing is the positives. You know, rose-colored glasses are on. It's time to take them off. This is a past life relationship for you guys. You've been with this one before, and unfortunately this particular individual that you're with, they have not grown or learned. They're a little bit behind in the development when it comes to soul development and moving forward in life, and because of that they're dragging you backwards. And I do feel very strongly for you guys in group 2 that are in relationships that you are supposed to be going forward. You're supposed to be further along your journey by now, but you keep being dragged backwards by this individual because you are so fixated on them, and rightly so, because they do hold that spark of the past. You recognize them, you feel at home with them, they have a connection to you, but because they have a connection to you, it's very difficult to see their negatives and their flaws. It's very difficult to admit when things are not going the way they should, and unfortunately that's what's been happening. So the advice of the cards is you need to recognize that this person probably isn't someone you should be with right now, or somebody you need to help spiritually develop to bring them further along in their journey so that they are more stable and ready for this serious committed relationship with you. It also implies that you've met your match. This person provides you with headaches and traumas, and you probably rant a lot or gossip about this person a lot to your buddies. And the reason for that is because they drive you completely and utterly batshit crazy. They are somebody that gets inside your head. They are somebody that twists your words, makes you doubt yourself, and because of that, they are giving you such a splitting headache. And because of that, they are also... that's another way they're blinding you, basically. It's another way that those rose-colored glasses are on, because as much as they drive you crazy, they'll do something really nice and positive to make you feel warm, fuzzy and fluffy inside, and then you'll forget all the negatives, and then the cycle just continues. They're very, very good at winning you over. They're very good at sweet talking out of a bad situation. They've definitely got the gift of gab, and they're definitely very clever, but because they're clever, they make you feel like you're crazy and you're not. So if you are seeing red flags, or you are bringing up issues to your partner and they're dismissing it, dismissing your feelings and what you're thinking and what you're going through, then they're not being particularly very supportive, and they're also not willing to admit that there is an issue, and they might actually be making you feel like it's all in your head, which isn't very good and actually borders on gaslighting. So it's about time that you recognize these red flags, see them for what they are, really address them, and if your partner keeps dismissing them, then maybe it's time to dismiss your partner. Okay? With the devil, this is talking about control issues and obsessive behavior, and it definitely talks about needy, toxic energies here. So this relationship has become a bit codependent, and there's no space, there's no boundaries, and you need to see these things for what they are, and it's time to nip these things in the bud. You are going to end up in a situation in the future where things are only going to get far worse if they ever get better. And my personal instinct and feeling on this is that perhaps it's time to let this person go, and if they're going to come back into your life in the future, they need to do so in a more appreciative way, recognising all the things that you did for them. So don't allow yourself to be abused, neglected or mistreated in this relationship, and recognise the red flags for what they are. You're being presented with them by your guides because they want you to see this person isn't right for you or isn't ready for you, you know. So you need to figure out which one it is. Are they not the right person for you and it's time to let them go and you're holding on to them maybe too tightly? Or is it that they are just not ready for you? You can help them along on their spiritual journey, develop them a little bit so they are ready for this committed relationship and the love that you have to give them. Now, if you go with option 2, that's going to be a lot of hard work and headaches to come, and it's going to be very stressful, and it's not going to be an overnight fix, guys. So the choice is absolutely yours, but recognize the red flags and please talk to someone and get some help if you need it, okay? Don't sit there thinking you're alone, because you're not. You have a strong support system, and those who love you really want to be there for you, so let them, okay? Now let's move on to group 3 and see what you guys have. Okay, group 3. So group 3, we're concentrating on you hiding your emotions. So this is very much a self-love reading, this one. So I would guess that the majority of you are probably single for this reading. So I'm going to concentrate on the single part of it first. So this is kind of saying it's safe for you to love. So you haven't fully opened your heart to love or allowing love in. And this is due to past traumas and pain. You're also, when it comes to your career and your finances and, you know, any projects you have on the go, you are completely and utterly avoiding the fact that you are single and that you're unhappy and miserable. You are choosing to put your all into work and fixate onto work or a project of some kind. And what this is doing is, this is a form of escapism. You are choosing to say to people, I'm okay, I don't need a partner, but inside you want a partner or you want to find love. But you are choosing to put your all into work and using the excuse that you don't have time for a partner or a relationship because you're far too busy with whatever's going on in your life. Now, this also implies to me as well that there are financial constraints upon your situation and that you may be struggling financially and you don't really want to bring a partner into that. I mean, let's face it, for those of you who are single, it's pretty embarrassing to have some financial issues, and it's very difficult to bring a partner into that and to say you have financial issues. And early on, trust and being honest is obviously super important in a relationship. So I kind of get from the cards here that that's another reason that you haven't been focusing on love, because first of all, you kind of want to fix your own problems yourself, very commendable, but you also don't want to drag anyone else into it. You may be feeling a little bit embarrassed as well about your situation, and so you are focusing strongly upon work and you're working your socks off to correct this situation and feel like you are in a more stable, solid situation financially before you look for love. But it's making you miserable. You're putting your all into a job or a career or a project that really isn't giving you what you want from it. It's making you feel a little bit underappreciated in the work department, and it's not giving you enough return on what you're putting into it. I feel like you guys are working harder but not smarter. That's the message that's coming through to me. And because of that, you are blocking yourself from meeting, you know, someone who could love you and appreciate you and also help and support you through this difficult time. But this is a choice you're making. It isn't a choice the people around you are making. There's plenty of sexual loving partners around you. I sense that there are a lot of doors open for potential relationships, but you guys are choosing instead to fixate on your job and put your focus and attention there rather than on the people around you that can help and support you. And some of those are potential partners. So maybe it's time to broaden your horizons. Absolutely be honest with these partners. Be honest with anyone coming into your life that wants to date you, that you are going through some financial difficulties, that your focus right now is digging yourself out of that hole and fixing the financial issues that you've been going through because you want to be more stable and secure in the future. If they're willing to step up and help you with that, fan-dabby-dozy. But if they're not, don't take that to heart. It doesn't mean you can't have a relationship. It doesn't mean you should condemn yourself to being single all the time. The other thing I want to say as well is for those of you who are single that have suffered, maybe as well that you're putting all your focus and attention into a project or, you know, a career and your finances. The reason for that is because you've been rejected in the past and relationships haven't gone particularly very well. I also feel as at the same time that you guys have missed some really big opportunities when it comes to love. You've recognized that you've missed them. That's made you feel a bit disheartened and down on your luck, and you've gone into that kind of negative mental spin a little bit, and you may be picking on yourself. And I am picking up a little bit on depression here as well. Well, I'm here to tell you that everything is turning around. The answer to this situation is around the corner, and one of the answers to that is absolutely just opening yourself up to the possibility. Be honest and upfront with anybody that comes into your life, and if they choose to help you, let them, because you can embrace other people's support and guidance and their wisdom, and you never know, that person that you're neglecting or you're choosing not to bring into your life could be the one person that has the solution that can help you. So maybe it's time to just expand your bubble a little bit, allow people in, get that help, and embrace love. And if you are feeling happy and supported and confident, and you have wise words, you know, that wise counsel from a loved one, I do feel like your whole life would be turned around and this situation would not look as bleak or as dark, and you would get through it far more easily because you have the support that you need. But you're choosing to do this alone, guys, and you don't have to. So for those of you in a relationship, you are working way too hard and you are neglecting your partner because you are overworking, you are choosing long, complicated hours, and you are not focusing on your relationship. Because of that, this is causing your partner to go in on themselves. It's causing them to retract and go deep within, and they don't know how to express themselves to you or talk to you anymore. I also feel those of you out there that are focusing a lot on work and neglecting your relationships, you've gotten snippy or short with your partner because you're irritated and you're stressed and you're overworked and you are tired. Those energies should not be put on your partner. They should not be put on your partner at all. Your partner is there to support you and help you and love you. They're not there to be your punching bag. And I feel very strongly that that's what's happening. Now, on a mild scale, and I don't mean physical punching bag either, guys, I mean more of an emotional state. Your partner's asking how your day is and you're getting snippy, short, aggressive, or you're going silent on them. You're not letting them in. You're not letting them fulfill their role in this relationship, which is to support and help you. So maybe it's time to address that a little bit, or recognize that's what you're doing. And maybe up till now you haven't noticed it. And when you think about it, you're kind of going, yeah, actually, I have been doing that. I'm guilty of that. That's fine. Hold your hands up. Own your shit and deal with it. You know, everybody's human. We all make mistakes. And I do honestly feel like you guys are not doing this on purpose. I just think you're just putting a lot of focus on your career, on your projects, on whatever is important to you right now. And because of that, your attention isn't on your partner, isn't on your relationship, and you're not connecting with your partner. And then you're getting short and snippy, and that tired energy is coming through. And it's just having this knock-on little effect on the relationship. This is easily fixable. And it is fixable, because over here, I'm seeing that you need to be rejuvenated, so you need a break. So planning a short holiday or a long weekend with your partner. It's also telling me that there are opportunities to turn this around now that you're aware of it, and there is a turning point coming in your situation. So if you've been focusing on work, taking on extra shifts, working long hours because you're trying to correct a situation, or you've got a deadline you're reaching, that is coming to a fast close, and that is going to be an opportunity for you to turn things around and focus on your partner. So just remember, don't jump into the next project that's coming. Don't jump into the next career or whatever step towards your goal that you want to take a break. You don't have to work every day towards your goals, and you don't have to work on your projects every single day. You don't have to go straight into something new. You can have a breather, and there's this very fast-paced energy coming through right now. This is very go, go, go energy, and I feel like you need to slow down, smell the roses, enjoy life. So March, February has been very stressful for you, and going into March, you're taking that energy into March, but you don't actually need to. Slow down in March, take your time, treat your partner like a partner, let them in and enjoy quality time with them. That is going to make you feel loads better, and it's going to calm you down, and it's going to give you a better perspective on the situation. Just that little bit of attention and focus, that's all it needs for you guys. But overall, I think through all three messages here, mostly the relationships are pretty stable, except there's just these little things that you guys all need to work on, all these red flags you need to recognize, and there's tweaks and changes you need to make. But I'm not seeing major breakdowns. I'm not seeing major relationships ending. I'm just kind of seeing that you guys are just, getting a bit forgetful, missing some signs, or neglecting your partners in some way, or neglecting yourself if you've been single. And these are just tiny little things that you can tweak and change that will transform your life. So I hope you've enjoyed this reading, guys. And if you have, thank you very much for watching and listening. I do appreciate your support. If you have any questions for me, please feel free to leave a comment and I'll get to you as soon as I can. If you'd like to book a professional reading by me, you can do that by contacting me either via Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or via email, and all of the links are provided. If you'd like to support my channel by offering it light and love, you can do that through either my Amazon wishlist or Patreon, and both of those links are provided. So thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed your March reading, and I'll see you soon. Blessed be.